What's up, y'all? It's your girl Lexia back with another banger video, and I'm taking y'all to work with me so y'all can see what it's like to be a NICU extern and the details of my shift. So let's get into it. Hey, so before I go, I make sure I got my handy dandy materials. Okay, I got my little notepad with my pen, got my water bottle, got my badge, and I'm ready to go. And I got my cute little yellow Crocs. Okay, period. Okay, so I did pack my lunch for this shift. I got me my Celsius, a yogurt, a granola bar, and I got me a Pop-Tart, okay? Even though I didn't end up needing it, but it is what it is. So now I'm heading out, and why somebody left their trash? That's really rude. But anyways, we on the way to work. Okay, so before I head to work, I'm definitely gonna get me some lunch. I love Dairy Queen. I just love this place, and that slushy was bomb. And I got me some fries, and I also had got a burger, which I'm gonna show you. It's called the Flamethrower, and it was so good. And I bust that whole meal down. And so yeah. Okay, so now we on the way to work, and it's Atlanta traffic, honey. Okay, period. And we made it to work, and we about to find a parking space. Okay, so I'm putting my stuff in the break room, and we about to get started. The first thing I do is I check all the AccuChecks, which is like the baby blood glucose machine, and we have to do like a control test to make sure it's working so that if they do need it, it's ready to go. Hey guys, so I don't know if you guys can hear me, but there's a whole pod that's like completely empty, so maybe a slow night. Okay guys, I'm gonna grab a marker and start putting my name on the board, and I have to find a phone first, duh. Okay, hold on. So the sound that you're hearing is the end of a tube feeding. So whenever I hear this sound, I try to do the nurses a favor and turn it off because it can get annoying. So that's just what I'm doing. Okay, so now that I have read my name on all the boards and the different pods, I'm now going to look on the schedule, which I pointed to right there. Obviously, it's turned around, and I'm going to write down all the nurses that have 4 babies. Okay, guys, so I have written down all the, well, before I say that, there are no nurses tonight that have 4 babies, which is pretty cool. So that means it's going to be an even slower night. And so I basically went on to write all the nurses that have 3 babies. So I wrote the pods down where those nurses are, and so that basically just reminds me of those pods to definitely check. So really quick, I just wanted to show you guys, if I do have a bath tonight, that this is the heater that we use over the baby to keep the baby warm, and then that's the little tub that they use to put the baby in. I usually don't use it because it kind of gets in my way, but yeah, it's there. Okay guys, so I'm about to do my first round, see if anybody needs anything, so let's go. Okay guys, we had a successful first round. It's feasting time, so there's a lot of hungry babies that are crying, so that's kind of normal around this time, around like feeding times. That's just normal. So basically I just walk around, I hear them cry, and I just try to settle them down by giving them their pacifier, or if they don't have one in the crib, which is very unfortunate, I just kind of like pat their back or just like talk to them. and like soothing voices, you know, just trying to calm them down, you know, just talking to them. They actually understand. But yeah, and then that usually settles them until it's time to eat. So if there wasn't a tech on the shift, then I would have the responsibility of passing out blankets and stuff like that. So that's basically what that cart was, of those blankets. So if she wasn't here, then I would do that. So yeah, like that closed curtain that was like closed all the way. Normally with this specific unit, when I see that, I know that there are parents. The parents are here, and so you definitely like don't just want to like barge in or whatever to do stuff, unless you're the nurse and you're like, whatever, you have to do something, whatever. But like, make sure to speak to all the parents and, you know, try to make conversation with them, especially, and you care for their baby, and you know, you're doing all that you can as far as like your role is. For me, that would be extern, and you know, just being nice, because they're going through a lot. They have a lot going on. Their baby is in the NICU, and just be a kind human being. Okay guys, so sorry I haven't been talking to you guys, but I got super busy. So I was on my first round and I walked past this nurse and she was like, "Want to feed a baby?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so they were twins, and I ended up feeding both of them, and she is like super nice. Like, I just want to make a point that a lot of nurses are super nice, and they actually like to teach and help and like show like future nurses, new grad nurses, like the ropes and what to do and what to expect, and just like the 411 about everything. I was checking for tube placement with one of her babies. I changed his diaper, I weighed him. It was busy, you know, checking tube placements and feeding babies, and so that was cool for tube feedings. And so you basically get like a syringe, you aspirate it, and then you get, you know, your tiny mini stethoscope, and you like put it near their stomach, and then you push it fast to see if you hear like this like whoosh sound to, you know, verify that it's in the stomach, it's in the right place. Well, I did my rounds and no one seemed like they needed help, but yeah, I think I'm about to read my book now. Okay, well, there was nothing to do, so I decided I'm going to go eat lunch. And that's what I did, and they had shrimp and grits, and I was so excited. Okay, you guys, don't judge me, but I got shrimp and grits along with what I brought from home, so I kind of look like a fat person, very greedy, but it is what it is. Who turns down shrimp and grits? Like, look at that. Yes. Period. Back to the unit we go. So I'm doing I'm doing a round, and I just basically comforted a baby, put his passy back in his mouth, so yeah. Hey guys, so I just did another round, and I wanted to come on here and give you guys, like, if you ever want to be like a NICU extern and then a NICU nurse or whatever, I wanted to give you guys like a tip that actually really helps the nurses that I noticed. I will agree, like, pacifiers are amazing. It's like they trick the baby's mind, and it also soothes them to like calm down. But anyways, like, I basically, when they start getting agitated, because it's feeding time and the nurses, you know, they have like a lot going on, like especially 3 babies. And so what really helps, what I've noticed is like when I walk around and I hear like babies like starting to cry and get agitated, I'll just, you know, go in their room, get their pacifier, put it in their mouth, and kind of stand there and hold it there so it doesn't pop out, because it would pop out. I either stand there for like 2-3 minutes and just hold it there and like, you know, soothe them and stuff, and that normally calms them down. And by the time I'm done standing there, it's time for them to be fed. So I just did a round and there's nothing to be done. So I want to take you guys to I want to call it the heavy hitter floor where I was earlier. There's probably not gonna be nothing for me to do there either, but why not? There we are. Well guys, I did a round on the heavy hitter floor, and like I expected, there was nothing for me to do because the babies are so cute and critical. So it's not really much for me to do as an extern. And yeah. And those are rounds that I do less frequently, just because there's nothing for me to do. So I usually just stay on the cuddler floor, as we can call it that, the less acute floor. And yeah, so back to that floor we go. So in the last clip, as you guys can see, when it's time to feed and it's feeding time, some babies just are not having it, and pacifiers are literally not lifesavers, and they're just like, ma'am, get away from me, I want my milk. So sometimes it just doesn't work, and they're really fidgety. You notice they're moving a lot, making a lot of noises. The pacifier just doesn't work. Sometimes it does. Most of the time for me that I've seen, it does. But in cases where you just saw it doesn't work, and I'm doing everything to like settle them and distract them and get the pacifier to work is magic, but sometimes it doesn't go that way. I did get that that baby to calm down and relax, and it's like a cool thing where you can like, it really helps to like prop the pacifier in their mouth with the baby blanket so that it just doesn't pop out, and that way it's just kind of stuck there. I know that sounds kind of like bad, but it's like anything to keep them from crying and being in distress. That's the main goal, to keep them from crying and to keep them distracted until it's their turn to be fed. So I have done my job. Okay, so a nurse has asked me to make a discharge bag, and so I'm basically showing you what all goes into that, and that's basically milk to take home, some jelly for babies that have been circumcised, Pampers or diapers, there's pacifiers, there's the bulb to get their mucus secretions, little bottles, and all that goody stuff. By this time, it's time to go, and I look pretty tired, so hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. It's time for me to go to sleep and get some rest, and that's all, folks. Peace. love, happiness.